What's up, everyone? This is Grant here with Grant and Projects. I have a little bit of a different video from what I normally post, but I figured maybe this would help somebody with their eBay store and what not to do so you don't get permanently banned. So I got permanently banned from buying and selling on eBay indefinitely. So from what I can tell, unless I start like an LLC and all that stuff, I'm not going to be able to use eBay at all for the rest of my life. So here's kind of the story about what happened and what not to do if you're in a similar position to me. So I guess to start this off, maybe like 5 years ago, I started an eBay store back when I was hauling a lot of scrap metal, doing a lot of trash picking, flipping stuff on Facebook, all that type of stuff, because there's certain things that you get that you can't really sell locally, but you can still make money shipping it and selling it on eBay and all that stuff. So I had an eBay store. I maybe sold like 5 things on it. So not very active, but it was still a legitimate account. You know, I was actually fulfilling the orders I was getting and all that type of stuff. And then once I graduated college, I kind of stopped doing all that, unless it was just like the easiest scrap metal pickup or, you know, just kind of a layup type of scenario. And I let that account go inactive. And if I had bought anything on eBay, I would just do it as a guest. So I didn't have to go through the whole logging in process and all that stuff, which in hindsight, I should have done that. But I'll get to that. So, probably like a week ago, I bought a bunch of textbooks. I bought 60 textbooks for $75, so $1.25 a piece off of a guy that I knew. He was going to sell them to like a bookstore, but they're way too old for that. So I told him, I was like, you know, I'll buy them. I didn't know much about them, but I knew that, you know, they have some value. And after doing a little bit of research before I bought them, most of them were worth between like $4 to $5 a piece on eBay. And then certain ones were worth around like $30, $40, and there's like an $80 one. So if I sold everything for the maximum that I could get, I would get between like $500 to $600 in revenue. And then I would profit maybe like $300, $350 off of it after fees and all that. So, you know, I went through, inventoried everything, and then last night I logged back into my eBay and put up 2 listings for 2 of the books just to see if anything would go wrong. And little did I know that the worst possible thing would go wrong. So I was driving to work this morning and I got an email. I'll put I guess like a screenshot of it somewhere in here, of the email that I got that basically said like, hey, you're suspended indefinitely from buying and selling on eBay. No explanation, nothing, just, hey, you're banned. If you have any questions, call this number and we'll be happy to help you. So naturally, I called that number, talked to somebody over in India for maybe like 15 minutes about this, and they said, you know, not really anything I can do. You're banned. I can't do anything about it. And I would ask them over and over, you know, is there anything that I can do? Is there a fee that I have to pay? Can you give me any explanation as to what I did wrong? I didn't know I don't know what I did wrong. And they won't give you any information because they don't want to give out the reasoning for why you're being banned so that you can circumvent that rule and get around it the next time if you're a nefarious character trying to scam people. So, anyway, so I think this is what happened. And there's no appeal process. You can't appeal a perma-ban on eBay. You're just banned. You can't do anything about it. So, what I think happened was, so there was that gap in time that my account was inactive. There was no record of me buying or selling anything on it for 2 or 3 years. And then suddenly I'm in here listing stuff, and the listings that I was putting up. So if you've ever, like, you can do this right now, go on eBay and look up a textbook, a used textbook for sale, and it's probably from like Goodwill or a really big book reselling company. And all that's on there is just the stock photo of the book. So it's on an actual photograph that somebody took. It's like a JPEG image of what the cover should look like, and there's no other pictures of the inside, nothing. And so I looked at that and said, okay, I can probably do that. That'll save me a bunch of time having to upload pictures and all this other stuff. So I would just take the IBSN number, ISBN, whatever it is, type it into eBay. It would auto-populate all the information. So all, the author, the date that it was printed, all this other stuff. And you can just choose the stock picture, and that's it. That was my whole listing. And I would put in there, if it had an access code, I said access code not used, which is true. And I thought I was good to go. And then I got that email this morning. So I think what they thought was that somebody had hacked into my account, which was actually me logging in. Nobody had hacked my account, but they thought that somebody had hacked into my account and was posting fraudulent listings for textbooks, and that I was going to scam people and just never, it was just like a fraudulent listing. I think that's why they banned me. I'm not upset about it. I'm not, this is totally my fault. I should have gone about this differently. I probably should have started a new store and just took pictures and done my due diligence to make sure that all that was legit, because I was a little bit afraid that it'd be an issue that there was no pictures. But I figured, I'll put 2 up and see what happens. Surely, maybe those take the listing down and just tell me that I have to do something differently. I didn't realize that they would just ban me outright and that there'd be no appeal process, no reasoning, nothing. So that is my fault, and it is a little bit frustrating, the way that it went down. I think the thing I'm most frustrated about is that there's no appeal process. You can't ask for an explanation as to what you did wrong. They just say you're banned and that's it. You can't do anything about it. So I guess I hope this is helpful to somebody who has an old eBay account that they haven't used in a long time and is like, hey, I'm going to sell something on there. You're probably going to get banned, especially if you do the listing the way I did it. But yeah, so from what I understand, the only way that I can be allowed back on eBay is that if I started an LLC, and instead of it being my personal information, so like LLCs, legally are considered their own entity separate from the people running them. So I think that's the only way I could legitimately be back on eBay, would be if I started an LLC and then used that to start the account. Because I can't just go on there and make a new account as myself, because eBay is able to track like IP addresses and personal contact information. So they'll be able to link all that stuff back to you. And if that new account is linked to an account that was previously banned or is currently banned, they'll ban that one too. So, yeah, kind of screwed. Not very upset about it, but it is definitely frustrating because I purchase stuff on eBay, somewhat frequently, just because it's they have parts that are difficult to find, or you can find a used version of it or something. So I guess I'll just have to do that via somebody else, or I don't know what I'm going to do about that next time this comes up. But anyway, so yeah, that is how I got banned for life on eBay. Don't do what I did. I hope this is helpful. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. The typical YouTuber BS outro. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate it.